on. Okay, so welcome everyone to A Slice of Life 5 page, the healing page, and today we have Rhiannon with us, and she's an energy healer. And I have been, following Rhiannon for quite a while, and I really admire her with her responsibility for self. Like, she goes through a lot of healing, and she takes care of her body. So yeah, today I'm very excited to discuss with Rhiannon. My voice is, as usual, gone off somewhere. About how to properly, let's just have some advice and some discussion on how to properly take care of ourselves, on a personal level without relying from outside source, like how we are usually just go, like when we get sick and illness and we go to the doctor. But there is also some value in self-medicating in a way. But of course, like I would say, like if you are already having something very major, you can go to the doctor that you trust. But yeah, I would say, like, combining science and self-care is very important. And yeah, maybe let's share your view, Rhiannon.
Ooh, thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, Paige. It's so great to be here with you again. Yeah, a lot of different things were coming up as you were sharing. And let's see, the first thing that I want to say is you want to be dedicated to your health. For me, it comes from really being disciplined within my own self to wake up every day and to make these choices, which are actually my lifestyle choices. And I've been on this health journey. It started during my Saturn's return, literally in the middle of it. And I did my first cleanse. Here's the thing. If you've never cleansed in your life and you start taking all these supplements, vitamins and minerals, and you start eating organic and you start going vegan and you start eating healthy, the thing is you may be healthier in a way, but the challenge that they don't talk about is that your body won't be able to absorb all of the nutrients and minerals because of all of the pathogens. Maybe there's toxic waste, there's chemicals. Think of the earth, right? Like how you've lived or how you've taken care. And we can think of like our body, it's just as the earth to have like a different picture of it. But like how you've taken care of your body from literally from the womb, where you didn't even have a choice on how your body was taken care of, right? Like whatever your mom was eating was what you were eating. And so she probably had a whole different, she's probably not, maybe for me, my mother, it's just, I don't even know how to put the words to it. The nutrition was different. I'll just say that, right? So all the way up until now, we have made all these different choices, right? That I haven't made healthy choices. When I finally was able to like be on my own and like in high school and like have my own money and buy my own food, you damn well believe I was buying combos, I was buying chips, I was eating brownies, I was getting pizza every day at school, I was eating like pretzels with cheese. I loved pasta. Like I loved bagels. I grew up in New York. So like, I love bread. Like I love bread and pastries and just like everything sugar, everything carbolicious. Like I just fucking love it. Right. Yeah. And so like in American culture, we live in such a fat, salt, sugar reality. And I don't know how it is in Malaysia, but it may be similar. I don't know how it is fully, but the culture, right? And so we don't, if we learn to take care, this is how I see it. Like if we learn to know our immune system and learn how to literally strengthen the foundation of our body, we will be able to heal ourselves. We will be able to manage our pains. I got rid of, oh my God, I did so many healings, and pause me if you need like another clarification or anything, but I was going through, I had so much joint pain, I had so much depression, I had so much anxiety, I had brain fog from, I don't even know what, it was a combination of food and definitely the drugs that I've done in my 20s. Like I was like exploring and trying to find myself and, you know, discovering who I was in my 20s. And that was a whole time period of like partying, having fun, exploration, music scene, right? And so, yes, all that stuff, if you do any type of drug, that's going to still be in your body. It's still going to be in your body. So, oh my God. So everybody needs to know about the medical medium. If you don't know about the medical medium, go look him up. His name is Anthony Williams, and he really brings in spirit. He talks to the spirit of compassion. And ever since he was like 5 years old, he was diagnosing people. He does body scans of every single person that he will come into contact with. And he'll basically be able to read you and be like, you have cancer, you have diabetes, like you have this. And at an early age, like he told his grandma what cancer was when like he didn't even know cancer, right? He just said the word. Because the spirit of compassion, he would get that download and then he would share it. He is so smart and he is so wise, especially for us like spiritually connected human beings. He really, for me, it helps bridge spirit in with food, especially fruits and vegetables, and really creating a whole new relationship around fruits and vegetables. And for the past year, I healed and restarted my entire system through fruit and vegetables, plus a bunch of other things. But that was like the main component to push pause on everything and get all the nutrients. And also when you're eating just fruits and vegetables, it's cleaning out your body. And like your liver is like the number one thing you want to care about, because that's what's responsible for everything in your body. And so when you pause on fats, if you take a pause on fat in your life, you're giving your liver a break to not have to process the fat, right? And so now it gets to do its job. And if there are parasites in your body, which we all do have them to an extent, we all have pathogens. There is bacteria in us. We may have molds. We may have fungus. We may have heavy metals. I have them in my mouth because I have the mercury filling still. Like I have them in my body, right? The liver, when you stop giving it fat, then the liver is able to actually process the pathogens. It's able to actually do its job and take out the heavy metals, take out the toxicity from your body, and then help you release it and detox it. The other thing I was doing was coffee enemas. The entire world needs to know about coffee enemas. If you want more information about it, reach out to me so I can like help guide you through it. You can find me on Instagram for that, Rhiannon Renee, _Rhiannon Renee. I'm sure you can just add it in the video for them if they want. There's not much information on my Instagram about it, but I have so much information about it because I just went through it, and it literally like, it changed my life. It just really changed my life on the deepest level. So, yeah, I just want to take a pause because I said a lot of things and I kind of just want to see like, how that's digesting. And if you have any questions for me to like clarify or new questions.
So far, I love all that you share. And I think, you know, like when you're mentioning about how our body have all the pathogens, have all the, let's say, all the metals and everything, I feel so myself. Although I have not gone through a deep cleanse like you did, that I witnessed on Instagram, I think.
Yeah.
And that was a very deep cleanse. I personally, I have been like, I think about 5 years back, I have stopped myself from taking just one thing, fast food. And I found my health just gone better.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, just fast food itself. I have been living in Singapore, so that was like quite similar to US, where everything else is like fast food, takeouts, a lot of salt, a lot of fats, a lot of sugars. So I'm a big fan of sugar still, but I limit myself, and once I did, I noticed that, my skin got better, my health got better. I don't stay up that late. I used to stay up until 2-3 a.m. just because I have had, some of the sugar like late in the evening. So right now I'm keeping it in the morning and evening. By 10, 11, I'm feeling sleepy. I can go to bed earlier. So that is a big, change for me. And when I get enough sleep, I just wake up like more energized as well. So that is amazing. Like, yeah, it's so interesting how tiny thing, like just a little change in your diet can affect you. Like, I can't imagine if I you went through the whole detox and then go into like vegetables and fruit diet. That will whoa.
Seriously, if you told me this, like, freaking, like, even 5 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, right. Like, in 5 years, you're going to be eating only fruits and vegetables. I'd be like, you have got to be kidding. I don't believe you. And the thing is you want to, it depends on like where you're starting. Like, you want to take it slow, like, or as fast as you want to take it, really, like so when I started cleansing for the first time, the first cleanse I did was a superfood cleanse. It had like a schedule for me to follow, which was really helpful. And I was eating like fruits and vegetables along with it. And it literally just fed my body with the highest grade superfood fuel on the planet. And I had so much energy. I didn't even know what to do with myself. Like, my skin was glowing. I was running. I don't even run. And I was like sprinting down the block on Kauai. When I was living there, and I was just like, what the fuck right now? Like, I did not know my body. I could feel this good in my body. And that was 3 years ago. That was the beginning. Like, and that was when I first started cutting out sugar, right? So like, you were sharing about sugar, like, start eating honey, like, transition, like, change, because you can even change to coconut sugar, right? If you can't get out of cane sugar, go to coconut sugar. Make that switch. Yeah. And after that, you're going to be like, actually, I want to eat honey, maybe, because it's more natural, right? Unless you're really vegan and you want to save the bees in that way, right? For me, it's like, I want to eat things as natural and close to nature as possible, because we are nature, right? And this is going to affect my body. And when we are on a high vibrational path, we need high vibrational fuel to get us going, to be a conduit of energy that's coming through our body so that we can channel and penetrate our voice and our mission to people, to one another, right? Food is so important. Food is so important.
What you put in, like, that is something that you put into your body. So of course, like, it literally helps shape you. Like, it fits you, like, your every single cell. So it helps shape you on the outside as well. That is why I'm like, food is so important. And yeah, like sugar, I did the same switch. I was like very into, all the sweet stuff. I was the kind that I can't live a day without a packet of sweet, or a stick of sweet inside my pocket, that I would pop on some sweet into my mouth every 1-2 hours. I was like, whoa, that was crazy. I was like drinking Cokes every other day. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I live that way.
You're crazy.
Yeah. Like, now I'm actually better. I still drink coffee, but my coffee without sugar. I'm changing my sugar intake to honey, and I even use honey in my cooking, and it tastes great. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. It tastes great.
So good. That's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's like, yeah, thank you for sharing. Did I cut you off? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It's like, we just want to make these like simple shifts, and like, even like water is like a whole nother thing. Like, there's these Kangen machines that I like need to get my hand on that is literally living water. Actually, it's made in Japan. Have you heard about them?
I don't think I heard about it in Japan, but I'm following someone else who is also on a spiritual path. His name is Jason Estes, and he has been sharing a lot about constructed water, that is living water. They have the machine for it.
Yes.
So I'm super curious. I haven't looked deeper into it, but I'm super curious. Like,
yeah, that's like a whole nother cleanse. You can literally go on a cleanse of literally water. Like, I literally water fasted for 7.5 days last year once the pandemic started. I was losing my mind. I guess because of everything that was happening in the world. Now that I look back, at the time I was like, I don't know what's happening inside my body. My stomach blew up. I looked 6 months pregnant. Like I have photographs, like my stomach was a ball. And I was like, what the fuck is happening in my body right now? I ate a potato. Like now, like, I'm like, I don't know what to eat anymore because I can't digest anything. Like I'm sick. Like I don't feel good. Doctors had no idea what's wrong with me. They were diagnosing me with weird things of IBS. And I'm like, okay, but what is IBS? Like, what's the root of that? Like, you can't just tell me I have IBS and to stop eating bananas and garlic and like random things. Like, what is IBS, right? And so I just started going deeper and I was like, I'm going straight to spirit. Like, I know the answers, like beyond any doctor, I can heal myself. And I started drinking water for 7.5 days. Because 7.5 days, I was so high, like I was so open. On day 3, that's when I got the download to do coffee enemas. And then I found out that when you water fast, you're actually giving your body. So if you do have tumors or any disease or cancer, it starts eating the tumors and the cancers. Like your body will start digesting it because it's not digesting food. So now it has all the energy to focus on any disease that's in your body and it will start eating it away. Oh my God. So that like, it's just, oh my God. Yeah.
That is awesome. Like my mind is blown. Like, oh my God. Like, is there something our body can't do? Like, the medical system keep on trying to make us feel like our body is like, it would deteriorate as we age, and then we will get sick, and then we'll get old, and we'll eventually go death or something like that, But our body can heal.
Yes.
Like, I realized that it's way back. That was before even my awakening. And I have been diagnosed that my eyesight is very bad. I have short-sightedness and far-sightedness. Okay. And, they were all saying that once your eyesight got bad, that you will keep on, like, it will keep on deteriorating and it will always get bad and you will need glasses and so on. I'm like, I can't wear glasses because every time I do, I feel aching over here, this side. I have no idea why. So I'm just like, fine, I will just meditate on my eye and see how I can heal it. My eye short-sightedness is still, I think it's about 100 degree. It stay there. It's like, since I have been, I'm still doing a lot of like using my phone, watching show on phones, using my computer and so on. So it stay there about 100 to 200 degree. So that is not too bad. I can go out without glasses. Nice. And people, like, it has been about 8 years or so.
Yes. See.
Like, our body can heal as long as we put the intention to them. Like, tell your body, talk to your body. I always like to, just sit down with myself like, hey, I'm feeling ache at this side. I don't know why. Can you tell me, or can you heal yourself? Give the body some time and it will heal itself. Yeah. 100%. And especially for us, we also feel a lot of energy, and sometimes you pick up energy from outside, and that will be where we take it in and it's stored inside here and it aches. That is the time you can talk to your body and like, hey, is that an energy match? What do I need to work on? And is there something that I can heal on myself, or do I need help of anything, any resources? Food, water, sunlight, movement, anything. And yeah, just do as per body say. I think that is very, very important. That has been one of my biggest lessons. Like, like throughout the last year as well, I have not been to the doctor for at least 2 years.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just every time I got anything, I just talk to my body like, what are you releasing? What are you putting out? Like, what can I do for you?
100%. And like, this is what I want to instill on people. Like, this is like my passion, it's like guiding people to their intuition. I mean, even you do this energy work too. It's like, we're healers. We want other people to know the power that exists within each and every one of us. Like, you and I are no different and no special than everyone else on this planet. Like, we're more maybe tapped in, like we're doing the work. And now it's like, okay, we want other people to know how powerful that they all are, that you can open up to your intuition and like you do Reiki, like you can literally like, and even you've reminded me on days when I'm like dying and I'm like, what's happening? And it's like your tools. And it's like, yes, like we can use our tools, right? Like to remember to do our energy work. And like, you sent me energy work before too. And it was just like such a blessing, you know? And it's like, we're not just like human beings, like in this limited bodysuit, like we have so much power and potential to literally change our lives.
Yes.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
And to think of it is that we are literally spirits, and we coming here. It's kind of like I see the body as a vehicle, and it's something that we borrow on earth, that it's up to us, like our responsibility to take care of it. Like, don't put that responsibility on the outside. Like, I mean, medical system is good, but medical system, they are still flaws, because all that they're able to diagnose and they're able to heal with medical, it is just something that happened before. But what if there's something that, you have something that they have not seen before?
Yes.
And they will be able to help you. That is up to you to help yourself.
Yo, yes. Literally, this is what like I was thinking last year, because last year was insane for me. Like I'm sure it was insane for all of us on so many different levels. Last year was insane. I started literally going into my gut with coffee enemas, right? And I probably did them for 5 months straight, 1 to 3 times a day. I released this long ass thing and I have no idea what the hell it was. My only guess was it's a worm. I have no idea what this long thing is. It's got a weird head and a tail. Like there is like a structure. It was crazy. But I brought it to like a recent doctor who thinks that it had to do with my gallbladder. Oh, what?
I was asking, is this the one? It's the one that looks like an octopus? Octopus?
Oh my God, I forgot about, did I share about those?
Yeah, sure.
Did I share about that on Instagram?
On Instagram, yeah. I think you took a video of it. I was
Oh
like,
my
what?
God. Okay,
that?
so I ended up finding out that I was taking these herbs to release and capture the parasites because I was losing my mind. And what I didn't know is that, so it's a flower. I was taking Mimosa pudica, which is like a flower, and it's like, it's a gel and it swells up in the intestines to pull out the parasites. And for for weeks, I was like, okay, now what is this coming out of my body? Like it was like jellyfish, like octopuses. And I'm like, what? Like how has this been living in me? And then I realized that it was actually the Mimosa pudica and it wasn't actually my body. I was just like so set on the parasites. And I was like, thank you. But it's like, that's the thing. Like, when you're healing and you're trying to figure out all of the things, you're listening to spirit, you're following your guidance, and I'm trusting the whole time. It's like, okay, what's next? What do I do? Download, or I'll go online and I'll see Mimosa pudica, or I'll talk to a friend and they share about this herb. And I'm like, and then I hear it one more time just to clarify that that's the herb that I need to take. That's kind of how I listen. Like there are signs. And if I hear it like 2 or 3, when I hear it a third time, I'm like, this is for me. Like, this is for me if I'm not listening, if I'm like, my ego's getting in the way or my mind, and I'm trying to make sense of it. But that was what I was doing. I was literally just following the path. And I healed everything. Like I healed so much to the point, like teeth sensitivity disappeared, my joint pain, like things that I didn't even know. My head, like it felt like after I like in my 20s, like just doing drugs and being silly and exploring and learning about myself, I felt like there was this metal plate over my head. Like I couldn't really think straight. I was like kind of trapped in my brain. I do a coffee enema. I'm like in my body, I'm just listening and receiving. And I feel, because the coffee goes into your blood. It goes up your butt, it goes into your blood, and that's the point of it. It goes into the blood-brain barrier, goes through your whole body, and it collects all the poisons, all the toxins. It takes minerals out and heavy metals, And sometimes it's good things too. So you want to replenish. And I felt it come all the way up into my head. And I was just sitting there like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. You have got to be fucking kidding me. And then it drains down because the blood pumps every 3 minutes. And then it was in the holding tank. And then because you hold it for 20 minutes and then it's like in my stomach until I fully released it. And I felt it go back up again, collecting everything. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. And I'm like crying, like, oh my God. Like I knew I wasn't crazy. It was like this moment of like, I knew it when people are like, oh, it's just in your head. And I'm like, it is just in my head. I can feel it, but I'm not crazy. And it was just like me and spirit, like, that's the strength. That's the strength that you can't buy anywhere when you go through those moments yourself. You know, it's like you're healing yourself and I'm having a transformation like that.
I love to hear that. Like, oh my God, so proud of you. And that must be a very strange and miraculous experience. Like, yeah, from the way you describe it, it feels really strange. Like you can't even put it properly into words, but it is miraculous. Like, wow, our body is amazing. Like, that is like something that I keep on saying. I keep on telling people, like, our body is smart. Like, stop treating our body like it is some dumb piece of shit. Like, it is smart. It will tell you what it needs. Like, you know, listen to it. Like, stop listening to the outside and listen inwards.
And that,
like, yeah, go on.
Sorry, did you want to finish?
I was like, yeah, like at times, like when I'm just integrating just energy or I'm just starting on a new path, my body would tell me what I need to eat. Like there would be strange cravings. And yeah, like that is the time that you should kind of like honor your body, give it to it, and unless it's craving for something that is super unhealthy and that you do not want to eat. I think that would be something that maybe you can avoid. But other than that, you know, there's no harm if your body is craving for an extra banana or an extra apple or an extra, you know, whatever it is. Like, honor your body.
Yeah, exactly. Honor it. You know, it's this is also what I learned recently too. It's like I'm at service to my body. Like I'm not here. Like my ego wanted to do so many different things. Like I wanted to do so many things, but when my body was like, I can't do that. Like me, I cannot do that. I can't eat that right now. Like, and I would just have to surrender. And I think that was one of the hardest challenges too. Like, oh my God, it was like becoming your own mom. It was like a moment of, I know what it's like to be a mother in that aspect of, it's not about you anymore. It's not about your needs. It's not about what you want to do, because your body is saying something different and your body is your vessel. And if you are going against it, it's going to keep screaming at you until you surrender and say, hi, I hear you. And that's being devoted to yourself, you know, and like, this is where I bring in like that sacred sexuality work of like being like that masculine, like devoted to my body, to my feminine, to my womb. Like I am here for you. And it takes surrender. It really takes surrendering. It takes something.
It does.
It really takes something.
Yeah. Like when you're talking about that, it reminds me of how in my early 20s or even in my teenage years, I will force myself, like, you know, it is very deeply ingrained in us that we have to have 3 meals a day, you know, and the portion of the meal should be big enough, you know. And usually there are times that I got such a big meal, I can't finish them. It's like I'm already full, and yet I will try to finish that. I will finish that, because if I am not finishing them, then my parents or my grandma or everyone would say that I am wasting food and that is not good. And there are a lot other people, in other countries that they don't have food. So why are you wasting your food? So that is something that very deeply ingrained in me. So yeah, it's like the first time that I really listened to my body and stopped stuffing it. Like, enough is enough. I can't finish the side dishes. Yeah, thank you for the food. I can't finish it.
Yeah.
And in a way, like my body is like digesting is like way better right now in compared to last time where I be like eating until I'm so bloated and I'm just like, oh my god. Yeah, and yeah, generally more healthy. Like the more I listen to my body, I find that I'm more healthy, and downloads, like we are doing the energy works, all the downloads is so much quicker. Like nowadays, I know my body because I know it so well. Like I will pick up energies of others. I will immediately like, hey, that's not my energy.
Yo, yes.
That is something very, very prominent right now. Like I've just been through it. Back in like late March, that I have people like throwing their energies on me, kind of like accusing me of something, and I pick up the energy, and I immediately felt strange. Like I have started feeling the ache in my solar plexus area and my heart area and chest area. I was like, oh my god, like this is not me. Like what? Yeah, you naturally get the sense. Like I feel like once you're more in tune with your body, if you're doing any energy work, you're doing any spirit work, you would literally feel it. Like nobody's energy can attach to you without you knowing.
Yeah.
I think it's so much, so important for especially energy worker to start taking care of their body. Yeah, you too.
Whew, you said it, sister. Oh my God, it's so true. It's like, especially being like a sensitive, intuitive person like ourselves, like, yeah, I feel it even more now. Like, okay, there's something on me. And even last year, so this is last year during the pandemic, I'm like, do I have the coronavirus? Like, I can't breathe. Like, I'm not kidding you, but there was a heaviness on my lungs. Like, I was like, I have the corona. I was like, I can't breathe. Like, I'm literally dying. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. And I was like, after a while, I was like, girl, just hold up. Like, put your hands on your lungs. Like, tune in. And I was like, okay. And I was like, oh my God, this is what the world is going through right now. Like the amount of grief that we are feeling as a whole world, not even just like our little community, but the whole goddamn world right now is experiencing grief. The whole world is experiencing grief. My lungs were so heavy. I was just like, holy shit, this is insane that I can feel this. It was just like another reminder of like, we are powerful. We are powerful. I am powerful that I can feel the intensity of the world right now. I'm okay in this moment, but I feel all of that, and then just doing that energy work and tuning in and then being able to share on Twitter, like whatever insights would come through of like, the collective is going through a huge transformation right now. And so as empaths, as ourselves and people who don't have tools, like we feel this and we're like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I'm dying. Like my sister has every ailment under the sun and she's not tapped in. She thinks I'm crazy. And I'm just like, oh honey, like I wish that you could like truly see like where like her own self, like where she's empathic and also where our mind is so strong that we create our own ailments as well. So if we're not picking them up from the environment or other people, we are creating them from our own suffering. And that's a whole nother topic that we can get into, but our bodies are so smart. Our bodies are so smart.
Yeah, our bodies are like, yeah, and you touch on, empathic, and I feel that every single human on earth are an empath. Like it's just whether you know that you're empath or not, or that you're tapping into your empathic ability or not. A lot of us are, and hence that because we are empathic, we tend to drown out all those noises by going to, you know, all the different things like escapism. Like for me was music. I was addicted to music and music scenes back then. Some people addicted to, you know, alcohol, drugs, partying, you know, sex. Okay. So yeah, we do all sorts of things trying to escape, to feel, because we were taught that it's wrong to feel. We are taught to, like, you know, it's wrong for us to hear things. It's wrong for us to feel all those things from outside of us, because it's not, you know, it's not our own thing. Like if we are hearing voices, if we're feeling different things, we must be sick or we must have a problem. You know, that's what they condition us to believe. But I believe every single one of us are empath. Like it's not a special power, but every single one of us have. It's just how deeply you tap into it or how open you are to receive it.
I like that. I like that. Every one of us is an empath. It goes along with one of my beliefs too. Like we're all psychic, and it's just a matter of like how tapped in we are. But we all can. We're creatures. We're human beings. Like animals. Like we sense things. You know. Like I remember just like being younger, and like I would have like a friend's name on my mind, and they would call, and it would be like the craziest, most wild thing ever, because I was like, what? And now I'm like, duh, like, yes, like I'm hearing you, you know, I hear you, like we're all connected, and it's just so wild. It's just so wild and just so beautiful.
And to think about it, all animals, they have some sort of telepathic, you know, connection. All animals. So why not human too? Maybe we just shut them off because we were taught that it is wrong to do so. It's wrong to, you know, get people's, you know, thoughts in your head.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's how we grew up, right? In societies.
Yeah.
You know, society is, we're literally being worked and raised to be a part of society and be more in our logical thinking brain. You know, I'm just being in our logical thinking brain, like creativity is kind of like slapped out of us, at least from my experience from such an early age. Like, oh, creativity, oh, your imagination, you're crazy. Like that's just for kids. That's just an imagination. Meanwhile, that's your quantum fucking like psychic space. Like your imagination, if you want to manifest something, go to the quantum, go to that field, go to your astral space. That's go to your imagination, right? You can use that for you know, all there's many of us who might be listening to this. Like your imagination is like the place of manifesting. Like literally, that's where you create anything.
Yes, exactly. Like, yeah, I am pretty sure that, you know, with more of us tapping in and doing the work to clear off all the programmings from our mind and so on, that we will eventually tap back into a society with telepathy. Like, I think that is the thing that we have been having. Like, I believe that last time, like back in very, very old days, like, you know, they all the villages, or, you know, like, you know, their village and so on, that they have telepathy. And also, you know, if you look at the wars back then, they don't really have, you know, their command and so on. It's like a lot on telepathic kind of feeling. Like if you look at them, that the leader can just make one movement and the rest of the soldier know what to do. Like,
Yeah,
you know, sometimes not even with training. It's just that the leader can just make one movement, the rest of them know what to do. Like that is telepathic.
that
But
is.
we all taught to, you know, that is wrong or that is not natural. Like what?
Right, because there's no way to measure it in a way, right? It's like, how do you measure telepathy and in the quantum field and energy? And we're still trying to figure that out in science, you know, because people who are left side, they need the facts, you know. If you've never been into the other world, it's weird and woo-woo. But I think more of our collective is tapping more in, like even people who are logical that I've known in the past, that I'm now circling around to these old friendships that I haven't seen in 5 years. Somebody who was so logical, skeptical, is now like listening a little more and being a little bit more observant and curious, you know? And the other point that I wanted to tap in when you were sharing, to bring it back around to the food was, and cleansing, and was around the more that, again, like to reiterate, like the more that we cleanse and detox and purge our physical bodies, not just our timelines, not just our social media, not just like our phones, but we have to cleanse the body, okay, on a cellular level. Like the deeper you go, the deeper you go, the cleaner, the more aware you become. You see shit. Like you just know that ain't for me. You just know not to go in that direction. You know your path is right up ahead. You know what's happening in your field. You just sense it. I'm just like, oh my God, like I just keep getting more clear, right? So for people who are just starting, the thing that I really recommend is drinking lemon water in the morning. If you can just start drinking lemon water in the morning, when you wake up, or even have it warm, you'll just start feeling more like refreshed in your body.
Oops. I'm not sure which of us froze.
What?
One of us is frozen.
You froze? Am I frozen?
One of us were frozen.
Are we still frozen?
Now it's okay. Now I can see you. Yeah, I'm like, okay, one of us.
Well, hopefully it's okay. Hopefully it didn't last too long.
Yeah. And just when you're talking about the good part, about lemon water.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm like, warm lemon water starting in the morning. And I replaced coffee with lemon water in like 2000, maybe 15, maybe when I was 20. It was literally in the beginning of my Saturn's return. So I started replacing things, like instead of coffee, then I drank lemon water. Now I drink lemon water and celery juice in the morning. I give it like 15, 30 minutes so my body can digest each, because there's a purpose for the lemon water and there's a purpose for the celery juice. It builds hydrochloric acid in the stomach, and it strengthens your immunity, and it fills you up with mineral salts. So if there's electrolytes in it, and it hydrates your body. And then I drink smoothies now, right? Everything I have is organic, and but this can go really deep depending on like where you are in your journey. So again, like a beginner thing would just be like, start switching simply. And then if you want to do like a very deep cleanse or any type of cleanse, like find the cleanse that works for you. I have a list of cleanses that I can provide for you as well. And maybe I can share them with you, or I don't even know, or just reach out to me somehow.
Yeah. I will link to your Instagram. I will link to your Instagram in the description when I post it. And yeah, so everyone can reach out to you if they're interested.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah. And just like, even if you just have a question, like, hey, I'm just starting, like, what do I do right now? And I'll be like, okay, cool. Cause like my page, you wouldn't know like that I really focus so much on health, because I'm still restarting my Instagram page and like creating a new presence for myself as I've gone through so many deaths and rebirths. I'm like, who am I now? How do I present myself in this world? Oh my God.
Like after Saturn return, oops.
Am I there?
Yeah. And like after Saturn return, me too. It's like, who was I? Like, I don't know her.
Seriously? So you went through your Saturn's return too?
Yeah. Capricorn?
Yeah, you're Capricorn.
Yeah, Saturn in Capricorn. So yeah.
Oh, your Saturn's in Capricorn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. And I have 1,000 gazillion planets in Capricorn too. So Daddy Saturn stay in the Capricorn for about 5 years, and I feel like I have gone through Saturn return for 5 years.
Holy shit, you have got to be kidding me. Oh my God. Okay, so you have gone through it.
I don't know the girl like 5 years before now. I don't know her.
How could you? I mean, like, oh my God. I mean, 5 years is like 5 million years in like freaking Saturn's return, like energy work. Like, Wow. Wow. Oh my
It's like,
God.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I might be looking for you too, like, you know, have some tips, you know, where I can change. Yeah. It's all good. It's amazing.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing. It's like, you know, especially with doing psychic readings, and this is what I'm learning too. It's like, I can now like read people to be like, okay, where are you at in your journey? What's happening in your body? You need this for your liver now. This is for your kidneys, right? Like, and then just start creating a relationship with the organs instead of it being this like medical thing of like, oh my God, you have kidney stones. And it's like, whoa, let me get so scared because it's medical diagnostic. And it's like, I don't know, the medical system, it can scare the shit out of us. There's so much fear around the medical system. And then it creates a whole ass response in the body.
Allow me to add one thing. Like, have you ever have symptoms and then you just go on Google and type in the symptoms? What do I have? Oh my God.
Yes, and it's always like cancer, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Basically. And I'm just like, great. You're gonna start hemorrhaging and you're gonna die. Everything is this, and then you're gonna die. You must go to the ER immediately. And I'm like, oh my God, no wonder I have panic attacks and anxiety all the time. Like, anything, any symptom, like I need to go to the hospital. And I'm like, hold on, like what, okay, what is actually happening? Like, what did I eat? What happened in my life? Did I live through so much trauma? Am I in flight or fight response for my whole life? No wonder my digestion doesn't work. I've never been not in fight or flight until this year. Actually, until maybe a few months, because this year was pretty still crazy. It's like we live in fight or flight. Our bodies can't handle that cortisol, you know? That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Like also when you're in fight or flight mode, your body tense up a lot. And it literally doesn't allow you to, you know, rest. Or, you know, digest system, as you mentioned, that because it's so tense, like where does it get any energy to help you digest the food? Like you probably doesn't, like all your food probably don't digest and it just came out. It just came through you and you couldn't even absorb them. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and especially with like a lot of us sensitive empaths, like we all pretty much have digestion problems. There's not a person I know who doesn't. Everybody's experiencing some type of digestive issue, bloating. They say it's normal. It's not normal. And here's the thing about the self, and I'll just say this quickly because it's coming through. It's like, on one hand, I do understand the self-love journey about us women, like loving our tummies, but at the same time, I feel like it's also not taking accountability of what's happening underneath the scene. We are not meant to be bloating as much, as intensely as some of us may be bloating every single month. And women who are complaining about that, they know their body, they know something's up. You know when something is really out of balance, right? Like, yes, there may be some type of bloating, like, and we may have breast tenderness and we experience these things, but there is something going on underneath the scenes. And we can't, there's only so much level of acceptance. Yes, you want to accept it so that you can heal and transform, right? It's the way to transmute things. However, we can't just accept everything and be like, oh, that's just the way it is. That's it. And then just take pills and go on with our day. Like, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. There's something happening. And I think this is the scary part of the journey for a lot of people. You know, it's because you got to face yourself, and that can be very frightening and alarming, and not knowing, like, where do I go from here now?
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's where a lot of people are afraid of. Like, you know, when we're mentioning about, you know, taking charge of your body and taking care of your own body's healing, a lot of people would be like, I'm afraid, like, because it's my body. If I've done something wrong, I might suffer from it. So they would rather not take, you know, the responsibility. That's very heavy responsibility for a lot of people. Yeah. Like, especially when grown up, we've been taught that, you know, we don't have to take this. We just have to rely on a certain system and then they will take care of us. But, you know, that is the responsibility we have to take back. And that is the responsibility that's so heavy. Like, what if we don't do something right? Like, what if we, like, it's like taking care of a baby, like you mentioned, like, mothering yourself. Like, when a mother, when they first hold the child, like, you have that moment, like, what if I can't take care of, the baby? Like, it has so much needs. Like, everything, I have to take care of it. I have to listen to it, and I don't know how to listen to it because they're speaking alien language.
Oh my God, totally. And it's just like, it's our intuition. Like, here's the thing, like when you have the baby, like, you know what to do, And I'm not going to, I can't, I say this as though I've had a baby, but I've definitely like in the astral do all of the work. So I'm like, I know what it's like because I've spent so much time like feeling what it's like to be a mother, but it's like, you just know, like as a woman, like you intuitively know what to do. Like, you just know what to do. And instead of living in that fear, which then creates gallbladder issues, stomach issues, pancreas issues, stress on the body, cortisol, bloating, every issue, symptom that is in us, like if we don't live in that fear and that fight or flight, we live more in our trust, in our womb power, in our pussy power, in our cock power, in our fucking body, wisdom, heart, soul, connected to nature, the answers come to us. And that's where the work is. And that's what's also so beautiful about it, because then we live more wholesome lives. Like we live so much more wholesome and free.
We do. Yeah. Like freedom, I have been saying this for a few months now, like freedom only comes when we are taking the responsibility on ourselves. Like if we don't have the responsibility, how can we have freedom? Because if we don't take responsibility, we're still relying on someone else to do it for us. That is not freedom.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it in that way. Yes, you're exactly right. And it's reminding me of this pandemic too. It's like, this is kicking us all in the ass on where we've been dipping out or cutting corners on our own responsibility. It's like in that aspect, and then also becoming more self-reliant. Like, we cannot rely on the system. The system doesn't work for us, for many of us, for most of us. It doesn't fucking work. And so then what? You're gonna live for a system that now all of a sudden when the world shuts down, you don't have an income anymore, you don't have houses, like you don't have any belongings anymore. That was a reality for many people. That was a reality for me. I went through a lot last year too. I wasn't really so heavily relying on the system, but when the world shut down, there's a pandemic, and now I have to be responsible for other people's health when I'm doing massage work. That was a new responsibility I had to look at. Like, what do you mean I need to be responsible for other people? Like, which we're not responsible for other people. So I want to we need to also, we're not so responsible for everybody. We're only responsible for ourselves, but it was more of the growth period around like how I affect others, being more responsible with my choices, who I choose to hang out with. And am I, bringing, toxicity into my life and then going and doing a client work and not caring and living unconsciously, and then going and working with somebody who's maybe like has an uncompromised immune system. That's not being responsible. Being responsible is taking care of your health on a daily basis, right? And then being more aware and as conscious as you can be in your life so that you make integral decisions, so that you're aligned. You can trust yourself. You can trust the people that come into your field because you trust yourself. You trust in the work you're doing, the medicine, the intentions, and how you're living on a daily basis. So that when I do now work with my clients, I feel safe because I trust myself. I know who's coming into my field because I know what I'm allowing and I know what I'm not anymore. That I've been very clear about my line.
I love that. So beautiful. Like, wow. like when you live more consciously, you literally knows. Like I also like, you know, I've also been recently started to do like more conscious action. Like like we will always like, you know, get knocked out and get into, you know, out of our driver's seat. I have to say the driver's seat of our life. You know, we often like abandon the driver's seat and let life take us. But the truth is that we have to be in the driver's seat, even though we might not be driving at that moment. We can still direct, like we can say no, even if it's like, I don't care if they are your guides or your higher self or even God tell you that you have to go this direction. You have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, personal choice is so, how to say, it's such an important topic, and I think not much is talking about them right now, like the choice. Like, you know, you have choices, although sometimes like in maybe in a situation your choices sucks, both choices, all the choices you have all sucks. Well, still make the choice that you're most comfortable with, and you will learn something with it.
Yeah,
I have been through that. Like, it was a workplace. I have been through that. Both choices I have sucks. Well, since it sucks, let's learn some lesson from there, you know? Yeah. Conscious choice. Put some consciousness in your daily life. Like, that's so important. So
important. And it's, you know, and I think it's challenging so many people now who don't live as conscious as possible, as aware as possible, who maybe aren't even tapped into their spirit and their intuition. That's what I mean. You know, like I get it. Like I get it. And it's also like, it's time. It's time to rise. It's time to be in your power. It's time to be more conscious. Because that truly is where the freedom is.
yeah. And as we're talking about consciousness, I think I've been talking to you about, you know, how to, like, nowadays, before I drink my coffee, I try my best to, you know, stay conscious with the coffee and like, hi, coffee. Thank you so much for, you know, giving me the nutrients that you're providing me. And yeah, just thank the food, thank the coffee, thank the water and everything that you put into your body. I think that is very, very important, because I don't know, like most of you listening probably believe in this, but yes, everything has spirit. Like we're thinking that everything is just an object, but an object has spirits because they assist with, like, you know, they're in existence. And in a way that they are made of energy, they're made of spirits. Even though, like, you know, water, the spirit doesn't speak to us, not in the way that we understand, at least, you know, but they have spirit. Like your food has spirits. Yeah. I have been listening a lot to this, and it reminds me also like how people always say like Japanese, you know, especially Okinawans people, they are living a long life. It actually clicked to me because I feel like Japanese are very honoring the spirit around them. And they even have like phrases like, you have to thank your food before you eat, you have to thank your food after you have eaten them, you know. And especially Okinawan, they are really in like living in a stress-free place, like more or less stress-free. So you hear the people over there live over 100 years old. Yeah. So it actually, everything just clicked to me. It's like they are very in tune with spirits around them. And, you know, minus the stress, minus the all the how to say, fast food and everything. Of course, people that are living longer than the rest of us. Like, you know,
Yeah,
just some
100%. I love that. I love that. And as you're speaking, it's like I'm getting the vision and the download of like, I think I just completely lost it right now. It's having the awareness. It's showing people what's possible, so that you know what's possible, so that you can dream of something, so that you don't lose sight of your dreams, you know, for those who are maybe questioning, or for those who want to get more like conscious and like aware and like opening and awakening into your body and your soul and your pleasure and your existence, right? Like to be more connected to our water and our food and the spirit of life that is all around us. You know, plants each have a spirit. Rocks have this different spirit. The earth has a spirit, the air, the wind, like animals each have a different spirit. Every single animal, there's a spirit. You just watch the way herds move. There is a different spirit in every part of nature, you know, and so it's just beautiful to be on this conscious path together of awakening, you know, and tapping more deeply into ourselves and into our hearts, and connecting more to the sacredness of life, and how we move on a daily basis, right? Being more intentional. And I think that's what it's about. And that's the medicine that I want to be sharing with people, is teaching you about the sacredness of life and what is possible for you, and how you can open up more to the spirit of life, so it moves through you, so that you feel lit up, more free, more alive. No. And through that, there's so many tools to connect with that opens that door for us. And cleansing, food, sexuality, energy work, all of these things we do are the tools to continue opening us.
Yes. And tools are very available, even though when people think that they don't have the tools, literally just look around you. They are there, just around.
Yeah. And you can even ask for them too. Like you can even write down, like, I need a tool today. You know, it depends on like where you're at in your stage of like spirituality or consciousness or growth. Like, I mean, now it's like I can visualize and like look for new tools psychically, right? Or I can just go out and connect to something and like find a way. In the beginning, it's like, okay, like water's a tool, sunlight's a tool, simple. Breathing is a tool. Holding your body is a tool, right? Vegetables are tools, fruit, tools, juicing, tools.
Yeah. And we even go as far as like, if you're a meat eater, your meats are tools as well, as long as you're blessing it. Like you can bless your meat. If there is a lot of like chemicals and so on, you can just say thanks to the meat, bless your meat, and then you eat it.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, I love that. I believe in like really honoring the meat too. Like that's a whole sacred practice as well. Like really knowing where your meat's coming from, you know, so that, you know, you can receive that life that animal lived in a very sacred way, you know, because it lived a beautiful life, because people took care of the animals until they died. Like that's so important, because I realized like people aren't going to stop eating meat on this planet. Like some of us need to eat meat, and that's okay. And so it's like, how do we, you know, build more sustainable farms and practices so that our meats, so that our animals live happy lives. And then I even had a friend share about how she worked with animals, and she would like hold them before they were about to go into get killed on her friend's farm. And she was just like talking to the animals and like holding them before they went, and they had a more peaceful death. They were more okay with the fact that they were dying, and the ones that she didn't talk to were freaking the fuck out. And it's like animals, like they are just like, they have a consciousness. It's like they have an awareness. Like we need to speak to them, not with language, English, energy. Like, hey, like speaking to them with like holding them, or like telepathic, visualization, sending them pictures. Animals really communicate in pictures, and letting them know what's happening. They're smart. They can integrate that. No?
Yeah. Like I totally 100% feel that, like, wow. Just take a moment, like, wow.
Take a moment. I know. These are powerful conversations we're having here.
Yeah. Like, personally, for me, I'm not like limiting myself to vegetable and fruits as well. So I try my best to, like, you know, thank the meat, like, you know, every time before I eat it, like, you know, thank you for the food. I'm going to cook you, you know, making a delicious meal out of you. Like, thank you so much for providing me the protein, you know, the calcium and everything. I will talk to the like the food before I eat them, like just thank them, because even though we don't see it, food, even though a piece of meat, they have spirit there. Like that's where I'm, like they have spirit in every single thing. Like even though you think that they are dead, they are still spirit there. Like, yeah.
Absolutely. And if you don't, and if you're, oh my God, I can even tell stories about eating meat that wasn't sustainable late at night and going to bed and having dreams of being murdered and waking up the next day and being like, oh my God, like I connected the puzzle pieces and I was like, I ate meat. And that animal was not treated correctly because I was fucking being abused. Sorry for my language, but like abused and like murdered and killed like in my dreams. So like that happens when we're like even more sensitive too. So it's just so important to, again, like sustainable practices and like really thanking the meat and knowing where your meat's coming from. And then again, to wrap this back around, cleansing. Everybody needs to cleanse. Like I'm just going to share that, like you need to cleanse if you want to be healthy. If you want to absorb nutrients on the deepest level, you have to clean out your body, because the pathogens that are inside of you and the heavy metals feed pathogens. And so they are thriving in your body and they will steal your nutrients. They steal your nutrients. So no matter what, like if you're eating all the healthiest shit and you're buying all this like stuff for your hair, your skin, you're buying all these herbs to take, like you're not gonna be able to absorb most of it because, and then there's also glyphosate. I didn't even touch on that. Like which is a chemical in Roundup that's like sprayed all over crops that aren't organic. Just dropping so much info on you guys. That lives in the gut. And if you don't detox it out, like you are not able to absorb all the nutrients because it's a mineral chelator. So it chelates minerals. And cleansing, that I will push, like whatever type of cleanse you need to do, juice cleansing, water fasting. There's like a master cleanse. I've never done that. Superfoods cleanse, I know all about. Medical mediums, amazing. It's intense, but it's powerful and it's life-changing. Like, and when you go through something so intense, it's like your choices become more habitual after the cleanse. You go through it and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to maybe eat a hamburger when you're done, right? You eat the hamburger, but then you're like, I miss my vegetables. I miss like actually steaming this in a healthy way because my body, like I want to take care of her or him, and like, I want to feed it with like so much love and nourishment so that it can thrive.
Exactly. I love that. Personally, I don't do a lot of cleanse, but I am drinking the tea that I think I showed you before, that my friend makes for me. And then it's like there are tons of different herbs. Yeah, there are tons of herbs that everyone can take. I feel like they can take, like even just incorporate some part of it, like not everything, not a herbs mix or anything, that you can just like take peppermint herbs, and then that will help you to cleanse out some part, like some of your pathogens. You don't have to do it immediately, like you don't have to do it within a short period of time. You can do the cleanse over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. There's so many different ways to do it for what's right for you and your body, your soul. You will know. You can start gentle. Again, just start cleansing. Again, adding more herbs into your diet, drinking more water, and then when you feel like I need to do something deeper or I want to do something, more deeper, then you hop on board of like a 9-day thing or a 30-day thing, 40-day, and really, really just depends on like your intentions and where you're at. You'll get the download. Like I need to do that. That's the one I need to do. I need to do it now. And I need to do it for 4 days. That's how I was with water fasting. I never thought I would water fast. I did it that one time in my life, 7.5 days. And I was just like, okay. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And again, like you'll just know what's right for you.
I saw your post. I think that time we were doing the 21 days challenge.
Oh my God.
Yes. And I was like, wow, she's going through a water fast. Like how to water fast? Like, wow.
Oh my God, that's right. I was like guiding that thing, fucking going through the water fast and parasite journey. Every day I was like shrinking, like my body was like shrinking. Like I was just like, wow, that was that was something else. Oh my God. I love that you were there for that. Holy cow. That was intense.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, I think it's late for you, so maybe we can do a closing for this. And if you have anything to add, or maybe you want to promote your business,
Yeah. Let's feel into it.
tell me what to do.
Well, I feel like I shared like so much, and I'm just so grateful for having the pleasure and opportunity to connect with you, first of all, and to share all this wisdom and medicine and information. I know that was probably a lot that I shared, but to those listening, like I hope that you were able to receive any insight, inspiration, or support on your journey, because it can be a lot, and it was a lot for me, and going through it all alone. You know, I know there's a lot of us healers, we do go through it alone in aspects. So I just want you all to know that I am here. And yeah, Paige is gonna link my Instagram. It's at _Rhiannon Renee. You can find me on there. Again, I'm restarting like my whole business page and how I'm showing up in the world. And I'm also on Clubhouse too. So if you are on Clubhouse, if you have an iPhone, do you know about Clubhouse? I'm on there. What?
I'm not there. I'm just saying I'm not there though. I don't have an iPhone.
Oh damn! So you can't be on Clubhouse. They only have it for iPhones right now, which is crazy. So but my name is Rhiannon Renee on there. I can just give you the information because I don't know if there's a bunch of Rhiannon Renees. I don't know how that one works because I'm new to it. But yeah, like starting conversations, having like empowering groups that come on and share and talk. So I'm available. I'm available to chat. And yeah, I just wish you all so much love on your journeys, and just take it slow, be gentle. Also, if you need to go as fast as hell, go as fast as hell, do what you need to do, but love yourself in the process. Really just love yourself. Be good to you.
So important. Love yourself. That is where we are coming from. That's why we are doing and taking care of our body. I love that.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. Yeah.
So
Well, thank you.
once again, thank you. Thank you, Rhiannon.
you.
Thank you so much for being here with us and sharing your journey, your story, and your message. Like, it's so powerful. This is such a powerful, amazing conversation, and I'm looking forward to talk to you again.
I love you so much, Paige. Thank you. I look forward to talking to you again too. Such an honor to be here. Love you.
Love you. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.